My story with Jump to Dash is longer than most people's stories, and ever since I started in 2014, I have done many things, all from being a level creator, to creating videos, to being one of the first people in the world to hit 100 demons. Though a lot of my story is just forgotten because back when I was the most active and the most prevalent, there wasn't much of a community, so I want this video to be a way for me to tell my story of how I came to be. This is my entire Jump to Dash story. Hi, I'm Aeon, and this is my 100,000 subscriber special. January of 2014, about 7 years ago, a week before update 1.5 was released for Jump to Dash, when I was like 14 years old, I saw one of my old friends play a simple platformer after class one day, and back then he wouldn't tell me what the name of the game was. He didn't until basically everyone in my class has asked him enough, and he revealed the game was Jump to Dash, and that's when my whole history started. From there, it would evolve from a game that I would play in recess with my friends to a game that I would obsessively play at home, beating all of the main levels after a short week of playing the game, and I very quickly became the best player in my school. Not really that surprising, if I'm being completely honest with you. I looked at the game on YouTube back then as much as I could, and back then there weren't really many people posting Jump to Dash videos on YouTube. There was Darnock, WeoWeoTO, and DaddyPro. I didn't really look much into it for the first month or so of playing, however, around this time I started experimenting with the level editor. The first level that I ever made was a level named Clutter Haven, and back then I asked Darnock if he could play and upload the level to his YouTube channel. However, Darnock told me that Clutter Haven was straight up too hard for him. Originally, I played Jump to Dash on my Samsung Galaxy S5, and back then, Android phones didn't support EveryPlay, which was the main way that people uploaded videos to YouTube for Jump to Dash. So I bought a very cheap iPad for my uncle, which is what I used to start my YouTube career. I created my channel on the 14th of February in 2014 on Valentine's Day because as a Jump to Dash player, I didn't have any girls. At this point, I had beaten about 15 demons on my phone, and I've developed quite well as a player, I would say. So I rebeat most of the first demons that I completed on my phone, on my iPad, because I had to reset my account, because back then, there was no such thing as an account system in Jump to Dash. And on April 26th, 2014, I posted my first video, which is now private, which was my completion of the Nightmare. However, the Nightmare was not my first demon, that was Super Cycles, but the Nightmare was the first level that I rebeat on my iPad and uploaded to YouTube. I also posted a few more demons around this time, which were rebeats of the demons that I completed on my phone, and this gave my channel some very early traction because Darnock gave it attention. And back then, only a few people were completing demons, and my channel was one of the first fully dedicated English Jump to Dash channels that were uploading frequent content. Content in quotation marks, okay? It was replays. That was all we had back then, okay? During the summer of 2014, I found the online community forum on Touch Arcade. It's a website where you discuss mobile games, and this is where I had found a way to contact and talk to RobTop himself, as well as many other prolific GD personalities such as Senthic Alpha. From my channel, I got to start talking with some of my fans who regularly commented on my video, and those people are now known as Glittershroom, Evasion622, Robbuck, hell even Minesap. We created a Keek group, which was essentially the first ever English Jump to Dash group chat, and it's more or less the start of the formation of the English Jump to Dash community that we know today, which thrives over on Discord. And on May 28th, I uploaded my 100 subscriber special, which was my 5th full-length level, Time Pressure. This was my first rated level, and it was what sparked my career in that sense. Also, a little bit of a fun fact, a little tidbit, Time Pressure was rated at 20 downloads, and it was the first ever NA 10-star rated level because it didn't have enough downloads or rates to determine the difficulty at the time. So I had a NA 10-star, and it was the first one, and it was rated super fast. It was rated like 3 minutes after it got uploaded. This is also around the time when I started talking to RobTop more often over on Touch Arcade, and we would get in a pretty good relationship, I would say. We don't talk anymore today, however, we greet each other if we see each other. And around that is when I invited Vibrant and Glittershroom, Evasion, and Robbuck over to Touch Arcade, as they hadn't really been interacting with that community yet. I invited them over, and all of us became regular guests over on the website. Actually, I met Viperin much earlier, back in 2012 actually, on an old Flash game on the website Congregate named Transferwise. Viper and I became rather good friends, and when Geometry Dash came into the picture in very early 2014, Viper had played it for a little tiny bit. However, I made him continue playing Geometry Dash after initially dropping the game, soon after the fad of Geometry Dash faded out of his school. Anyway, on Touch Arcade, the rest of my friends and I got to speak to RobTop, which is how all of our creating careers truly began. Considering the nature of how RobTop used to discover levels way back then, it's pretty safe to assume that me and my friends would probably never have reached the feature level status without Touch Arcade, because it was impossible to get your levels known without it, pretty much. There was no mod system, so there was no way to actually make RobTop see the level. He just had to happen to find them. We could send our levels directly to RobTop, which got our levels rated rather quickly, and Time Pressure, as previously mentioned, got rated after only 20 downloads and 3 likes, simply due to the fact that RobTop coincidentally was online at the time I posted it on Touch Arcade. I still kept on beating lots of demons at the time, and more big names such as WeoVoTio and Riot joined our Keek group that we formed a little while ago, long before Riot's rise to fame in early 1.9 when Riot acquired his 144Hz monitor. At the time, Keek only allowed about 10 people in a group chat at the same time, so once the group expanded into more than 10 and we wanted to have more than 10 people, we decided to move to WhatsApp. In this group chat, we made our own little community, later dubbed the Moon Chat after Santhic Alpha.
Kept spamming the faced moon emoji.
That was a long-running joke.
The chat still exists to this day, fun fact.
And we soon invited even more people to our group chat, and not long after 1.8 released, the copy level feature was introduced, and Moon Chat organized and made the first ever multiple people collab named Velocissimo, which is on DataPro's account. It was made by 5 people, myself included, and it was uploaded before stuff like collaboration by Sari. After half a year or so of demon grinding and level creating, Viperin, Riot, and I, we created the first English Geometry Dash clan inspired by the Korean group of players known as GW, or Geometry World. This group that we made was named Team Geometrified. We created a YouTube channel and a Skype group chat, and this group chat was alive for only a couple months, really, before it was disbanded after Riot and I started playing less due to the abnormally long wait time for 1.9 to release. Keep in mind, it was just like 3 months, however we were used to like bi-monthly updates. As well as waiting for the Steam version of Geometry Dash to release, which was being reviewed on the now discontinued Steam Greenlight, which was basically Steam's approval system for games to release on Steam back when they had much higher criteria for releasing a game on Steam. However, the group that was left behind would later evolve into Geostorm, which was formed by Weo, as well as Viperin later on in the picture, which is still a very prevalent clan in Geometry Dash today. While it's not a very public place, it houses many of the biggest names in Geometry Dash, not just today, but also from long time ago, and it houses most of the biggest content creators, and top players alike. The YouTube channel for Team Geometrified got nearly 2,000 subscribers, which at the time was absolutely incredible, considering the fact that back then, the biggest Geometry Dash YouTube channels were people like Darnock, who was sitting around 12,000, meaning that the group as a whole had a very large prominence within English Geometry Dash. And during the glory days of Team Geometrified, I, AeonAir, was known as the best player in the world by a lot of people. Riot and Alex Payne said that during 1.6 and through the end of 1.8, so 2 full updates worth of GD, I was the best player in the world. And people like Alex Payne has later stated that I was a major motivator and inspiration for his reign during early 1.9 when he famously beat levels like Supersonic and 9 Circles. And not to brag or anything, I feel like that's a pretty good flex. I won't lie. That's pretty cool. As for some of the notable achievements that made me gain this title, I was one of the first, if not the first, known legit player to slay huge levels such as Death Funk, Electrodynamics V2, and Clubstep V2 by Neptune, and I was the first ever person with proof to beat every single Demon map pack very quickly after it came out, meaning that I also beat the original version of PG Clubstep on my phone back when it first released. And while they aren't the most impressive achievements today, you have to remember 7 years ago was a very different time for Geometry Dash,
And the skill
ceiling wasn't really the largest, and this was still at a time where the Steam game has not yet released and nobody played on computer. Everyone was bound to their mobiles. Attempting levels such as these back then was incredibly uncommon, and seeing as Clubstep V2 stayed unbeaten for multiple months before myself and soon after Wreckage and Crack beat the level, it was just a major accomplishment back then to beat such things, and being the one and only person who really challenged these things, I gained that reputation for myself. And while completing these accomplishments was a very big deal, I was also the third known English player to reach 100 demons completed on July 28, 2014, after the late Michigan and an unknown forgotten player named Swedish Demon. Keep in mind, back then, 100 demons completed was a major accomplishment. There were only approximately 350 total demons, meaning that I beat like a fourth of every single demon in the game. That's pretty cool. I don't have that now. I wish I did. Maybe soon. Maybe one day soon. While it is hard to find any concrete proof of this, it is pretty safe to assume, based on timeline screenshots from early 2014 that iNeo and Pepper360 has dug up, I was one of the first 25 people in the world to reach the milestone of 100 completed demons, behind mostly Korean players, as they were the dominating force back then, as well as a couple Argentinian players. During my intensive grind and being an incredibly potent player and fast demon grinder, I would at some point manage to reach the top 25 mark on the Stars leaderboard after Riot challenged me to a race for the top 10 position back when Riot was rising to his peak, right before the Steam version released. Riot would ultimately win this race. However, because of this race, in very late 2014, while being in the top 25 for the Stars, I would also simultaneously be in the top 25 for the creator leaderboard, as I had about 35 creator points at the time and 4,000 stars, making me one of very few people ever to achieve this accomplishment of being in the top 25 on both leaderboards at the same time. While it doesn't sound that impressive now, it was a feat not very many people can take on, the latest of which would be Felix Ram 4 years ago today. Around this time, around the latter bit of 2014, I would start tackling two levels that had never been taken on before and would be the levels that inevitably cost my demise as a player for the time being. These two levels were Deadly Clubstep and Stereo Demoness. My first major Deadly Clubstep progress was 32%, a very respectable progress run for the time. However, about 2 weeks later, I got a 2-attempt practice run where I died to the first triple spike, meaning that this was essentially completing the level, and this really took a toll on me. No other level at that point had taken me as much time and effort as this, spending over 10,000 attempts on Deadly Clubstep. And the most impressive and arguably the saddest part of it all was that the 2-attempt practice run was well over 6 full months before Riot famously completed Deadly Clubstep, which marked the beginning of his reign as the best player in the world. This practice run was done on mobile. It was done prior to Steam version releasing, and these levels were at the time considered incredibly difficult, if not impossible. And because of this rather arduous failure of mine, my love for the game started slowly declining because I just couldn't handle the pressure of trying to complete this then considered impossible level. I put the levels on hold and I stopped playing them, and around this time is when my passion for GD was at an all-time low. I didn't feel like beating much, but I kept uploading and playing every now and then for like a little tiny bit. However, around the time when 1.9 came out, I was at an all-time low, as previously mentioned, and 1.9 introduced the wave game mode, and as many of you guys know, the wave game mode and I just never really clicked. I didn't feel like I had much control over the game mode, and
it was just not my cup of tea.
It became increasingly frustrating for me to play Geometry Dash due to an uneven skill set, making me struggle to beat difficulties I would normally have no issues with, which ultimately made me less inclined to open the game. Keep in mind, at the time I had around 150, 160 demons. I was one of the absolute top demon grinders in the game, and stuff like Problematic took me 1,200 attempts, which was insane at the time. I beat Electrodynamics V2 in less attempts, which I was the first ever victor of. So it's safe to say Wave wasn't exactly something that I enjoyed. Around this time, Geometry Dash was about to release on Steam, meaning a proper PC version was inbound. Still being mobile bound myself, without any real money to purchase a computer, I felt as if there was really no reason to continue actively playing, knowing full well that I would not be able to keep up with the difficulty curve to come, because
Common sense says that when you can move to PC, the game will naturally become much easier.
And following the game's Steam release, I would just not feel like playing because there was nothing for me to do. I couldn't keep up, and being a competitive person that I am, I just didn't feel like going through with it anymore. After this, I would go into an indefinite hiatus from the game. Not really playing it, but sticking around the community in the form of Moonchat as well as YouTube comment section, commenting on major community achievements, such as Riot's completion of Bloodbath. Due to the game's steep incline in popularity after Steam release, after notable YouTubers such as PewDiePie played Geometry Dash and uploaded it to his channel, I fell more and more into obscurity after peaking as one of the most recognized names in the Geometry Dash community prior to 1.9, and as a result, I became somewhat forgotten
Within the community,
outside of the OG players like Riot and Alex Payne. My legacy would be further stunted during this hiatus because, me being literally 14 years old, I thought it would be absolutely hilarious to change my Geometry Dash in-game name to Cat Funt, leaving most people to not know that I had created levels such as Time Pressure or To the Stars, which were very famous levels at the time. And my name would also be left as Cat Funt all the way until I decided I wanted to return to the game in 2017, 2 years after I initially stopped actively playing. However, in January of 2017, when Trusta verified Yatagarasu and 2.1 released, I felt as if I missed the game and my inspiration was reinvigorated by the verification of Yatagarasu. I had entirely skipped 2.0 and I'd skipped a majority of 1.9, so it was like starting fresh again, and I wanted to come back to the game, and my passion
for the game was rising again.
I randomly asked in Zoro's stream if anyone wanted to buy me Geometry Dash as a joke, and a viewer of his named Rando the Commando recognized my name from 1.8 and decided, yeah, why not? I'll just buy Geometry Dash for you. So I got Geometry Dash on my school laptop, and I played it every once in a while for a couple months, but my love of the game just kept on growing slowly. It was also around this time when I truly started talking to Trusta, whom I had been friends with since early 2016, when Trusta beat Bloodbath. We talked a decent amount in 2016, but it wasn't until 2017 where our friendship truly started blooming, and the famous duo of Trusta and I was born quickly after.
Because in March of 2017, a few months after I got Geometry Dash on Steam,
and a rather lengthy period of on and off playing, my once forgotten legacy as the known world's best player was about to be reborn, because on March 18th, 2017, I finally could afford to purchase a computer and a 144Hz monitor, and it was up and running, and in just 3 days after almost 2 years of basically no activity except for a couple hours of playtime during class because I was bored, I completed Cataclysm by GG Boy, which is also one of my friends from Moonchat, and not even 1 month after buying my 144Hz monitor, on April 17th, I beat Bloodbath, which was a dream level of mine, which I thought I'd never beat. So after a month of playing, after not touching the game more or less for 2 whole years, I'd completed Bloodbath, which was sitting at number 9 on the Demons list when I completed it. And very soon after that again, on May 28th, 2017, I would beat Subsonic by Viprin in 25,380 attempts. And at the time of completion, it was number 7 on the pointercrate demon list. So in just a measly 2.5 months of playing Geometry Dash again, I had completed 2 of the current day top 10 demons in GD. Subsonic at number 7 and Bloodbath,
which had fallen down to number 10 after the placement of Subsonic.
And I was the 3rd victor of Subsonic. I was racing people such as Wooshi and Diamond Splash, and I was keeping up the pressure very well with it. Say something.
Okay, what do you want me to say?
I don't know, something cool.
Not you.
Oh. Oh, alright. Nice. Thank you.
Subsonic would, however, remain my hardest demon all the way up until the 14th of July 2020 when I completed Stalemate Redux by Tactic. After feeling like I was holding back my potential as a player after completing Phobos by Karma L and a plethora of other easier extreme demons. However, that's for a different time in this video, okay? After Subsonic, I beat the Ultimate Phase, Quest for Perfection, Ice Carbon, Diablo X, and the Flawless, and this is where I started uploading more commentary-based content, which is what you are normally used to at this point. On June 1st, 2017, I beat Transcendence by Pause, which was the first ever commentary video that I made on my channel. Being a shy 17-year-old with very little confidence in talking to a camera, I just decided I wanted to try this out, and I quickly grew to become much better. My first few videos are not that good, but they exist, I suppose?
Yo, what is up guys, it's Aeon here. Welcome to the first ever episode of my new series called Road to 500. This is basically a series where we're going to be going through demons until we have 500 of them, alright? Let's start with Transcendence by Pause.
I wanted to start making more commentary and personality-based content with people like EVW and Trusta and similar content to them, because I knew that back then I had a name for myself and I wanted to rebuild that name that I had once built for myself. However, thinking that I wasn't going to be able to keep up with the best players, I decided to go the other route of becoming a content creator. And towards the end of 2017, after reaching out to the aforementioned Eric Van Wilderman, I reached out to him about a video idea which would end up being one of his most viewed videos of all time, the every single Rob Top level race, which sits at over 2 million views to this day. And it was in this video where my channel started growing as I went very quickly from an impressive 5,000 subscribers to 8,000 within just a short month. Throughout 17, I would also continue on making more videos and collab with friends of mine such as Zaro, Trusta, and Jazor, and building up a name within the Jump to Dash community as a potent content creator. And at the time, I had 3 solo series on my YouTube channel, which were The Road to 500, which was me trying to complete 500 demons, Jump to Dash with Aeon, which was just me playing random trash, and Creator Beatdown, which is where I went into detail about the 3 latest levels from Jump to Dash creators, talked about the decoration and gameplay in depth, and try to, give pointers to where I think the level could be taken to improve them. Was I in any sort of position of authority to actually talk about that? No. Did anyone care back then? No. On the 17th of November 2017, I posted a video where I would finish off the 2 big demons which made me quit the game 3.5 years prior, Stereo Demoness and Deadly Clubstep, which I'd put thousands and thousands of attempts into back in 2014. 13,000 on Stereo Demoness and 15,000 on Deadly Clubstep respectively, being unable to beat them. However, I came back to them and beat them in just around 30 minutes each, and a little over 300 attempts. This being a testament to my improvement, and yet again showing that I was still a very potent player, capable of much more than I set myself out to do, even in 2017, when I hadn't really played that actively. I was potent back in 2014, and I still remained very, very skilled in 2017, despite not being the most frequent player of the game. At this time, I was having a lot more fun with Jump to Dash again, and because of all the new content that I posted, I'd reached around 10,000 subscribers on the 22nd of November 2017, not long after collaborating with EVW for the first time in November of the same year on the Rob Top race video.
Oh, he hit it.
At this point, I was enjoying making videos a lot, and I would post a new video every few days, aiming for around 2 or 3 uploads a week, and with high frequency of uploading while juggling high school, recipe for disaster. I'm just gonna get that out of the way right now. On the 27th of January 2018, I hit 10,000 stars in Jump to Dash, and 2 days later, I beat my 400th demon, which was Hyper 2 by Sereno. And on the 31st of January 2018, I celebrated my 18th birthday. I was officially an adult, and I was really old, I won't lie.
Today's a special day because I haven't accomplished anything, I haven't done anything special, not hit a milestone or anything. But today's a really special day because I'm turning 18 today. And that means I'm an adult. how I managed to become an adult and live for this long. I'm nope. Jokes aside,
On the 12th of February 2018, I posted a video where I would play Bloodbath and give EVW tips and tricks on how to beat the level after he announced that he would be trying to beat it. This would become one of my more popular videos, with over 155,000 views, and it would later become a tradition that every time EVW was going for a hardest, if I had completed it, I would just go ahead and say, this is how you do it. Good luck. March 22nd, 2018 marked about a year since I posted my first video after coming back to Geometry Dash after my 2-year hiatus. And throughout April 2018, I kept posting a video every 3 days or so until April 14th, 2018, where I would post my last video, which is still public, until the 10th of January 2020. And the reason for this is a lot darker than I would really like for it to be. I'm not going to go much into detail about it because it goes very deep into my private life and a lot of very unsettling topics that I would not discuss today, as I want this video to be cheery. However, to make things very short, it was a very, very long and egregious battle with mental health issues. I had basically just overworked myself. I was very, very tired of everything. Got a couple diagnoses from several psychologists, and I was just not ready to continue on. So I put away my YouTube channel, stopped doing anything, and for nearly 2 full years, I was in radio silence. Until January of 2020, I came back and posted a video named Geometry Dash Memes Suck, which was a collaboration with my longtime friend, Trusta, where we just looked at Geometry Dash memes. And it was also the first video where I said my famous intro of Hi, I'm Aeon, and this is a video, which has kept going on with every video until this day, with a couple of exceptions. We won't talk about those.
hi, I'm Aeon, and this is a video. Oh fuck, that's actually really hot.
And this video, to me, taught me that Geometry Dash videos can be more than just playing the game. This gave me the opportunity to just do whatever I felt like, and it was a really, really cool opportunity. So the fact that this video did as well as it did showed me that content with Geometry Dash was more than just me beating demons. And that is where my now story starts, as after another 2-year hiatus, I started off 2020 incredibly strong and posted about 6 videos in January, and in February I posted 6 new videos as well. In February, I beat Aftermath, Glide, Temple of Destiny, and on March 6, 2020, I posted one of the most popular videos on my channel to this day with over 120,000 views, which was the Geometry Dash Achievements Race versus the popular GD YouTuber Colin. And it was like the start of my proper career within GD. I was very certain that this was something that I wanted to do, and I kept on pushing content, and I kept enjoying myself, not just doing demon completions like I had done in the past. And on top of that, in March, I completed Innards, which was my 500th demon, marking the end of the road to 500, which was 3.5 years in the making. The series I started back in 2017 trying to hit 500 demons. Yes! Suck my dick. And after I completed my 500 demon, I introduced my new quest, which is still ongoing to this day, which is trying to complete every single easy demon in Geometry Dash. A task that was a lot more time-consuming than I initially thought it was going to be. Now beating around a handful of easy demons every single week until I have sometime completed all of them, sitting around 620 completed as of today. April 20th, following the recent events of Juniper getting banned from YouTube, streaming after a anime clip got claimed on our channel, people started moving their streams over to Twitch. And after we moved to Twitch, I uploaded my 3rd most viewed video on my channel with 220,000 views. The Geometry Dash Twitch experience. And this is where my streaming career starts. Nowadays, I'm very much known as a streamer. I've been nominated for Geometry Dash Streamer of the Year twice now. And this is more or less the very beginning of that. The Geometry Dash Twitch experience would showcase the highlights of what was the start of the new peak of Geometry Dash on Twitch, after being more or less dormant ever since Bloodlust was verified, not having a lot of traffic whatsoever. However, after the GD Twitch experience, and myself, Juniper, Zaro, Technical, Nepesta, a little bit later, And sad if I moved over to Twitch, more and more people would funnel into Twitch, growing the GD Twitch page as a whole, sparking new people to be able to start their careers over on Twitch and seeing massive success from it. People such as Wolves, Sicky, and Speedy Muffin all started growing very rapidly on Twitch after these events. And in my personal opinion, the video of my friend group messing around in call really shows what live Jump to Dash content could be, and it showed people that playing Jump to Dash live in front of an audience makes for really good content. Throughout April, I would go to beat a multitude of new Extreme Demons, proving my worth as a player in a landscape filled with incredibly talented players, showing that despite being a much older player, both in terms of age and when I started, I was still able to keep up relatively well while simultaneously growing my Twitch channel, where I would regularly stream my completions and attempts as well as other games, where I easily would be getting over 100 viewers average when streaming other things than GD, and nearly 300 viewers while streaming Jump to Dash. A testament to me just being more than just an overall good player, but also being a fairly decent entertainer. Not to toot my own horn or anything. On the 23rd of June, I posted the stream highlight and completion of Invisible Deadlocked, a level that I had promised to do in 2017 after a long-running joke with EVW calling me the Deadlocked Master, and it took me about 5,500 attempts in total, but it is a very cool level to have completed, let's be real. And on the 3rd of July, I challenged myself to beat as many easy demons as I could in 12 hours, managing to beat 28 demons in the time frame. Not that much, I'm going to be completely honest with you, but it was a fun time either way, right? On the 14th of July, I posted my completion of Stalemate Redux, as I previously mentioned, which was my brand new hardest demon. My goal was to beat a new hardest by the end of summer, but it only took me about a week to complete it. It was a 4-day space jump on the list, and I finally dethroned Subsonic after 3 years of it being my hardest demon. Let's go! Oh, beautiful! Beautiful! Oh, fuck, my throat hurts from that one. Jesus Christ. Oh, bro, I got a headache from that scream, dude. Holy shit. 3 days later, on the 17th of July 2020, I posted a compilation of some of my best clips from all of my streams and videos since my return in January. And, in fact, it was my 50th video since I returned to YouTube in January. And in those 6 months, my channel had doubled in subscribers, going from a respectable around 22,000 to now over 40,000 subscribers. Saying that now, 50 videos in 6 months, not that much considering how frequently I upload now. Different times, okay? Over the course of the summer of 2020 and the rest of the year up until November, I would continuously slay extreme demons and insane demons at a very fast and respectable pace, conquering many of the most well-known extreme demons in Geometry Dash, such as Allegiance, Black Blizzard, Artificial Ascent, and birthing some of the most well-known clips on my channel, more specifically the helicopter clip and the Moo clip, which funnily enough was taken down from Twitter because Doja Cat herself DMCA'd my Twitter post. I thought that was funny. I think that's a really haha moment, I'm not gonna lie. Anime cow? Yes, anime cow. Speaking of cows, I still find it so funny. You guys probably know who Doja Cat is. I found Doja Cat like 2 years ago through a song called Bitch I'm a Cow, and I still cannot get over the fact that Doja Cat has a song named Bitch I'm a Cow. That song is awesome, Seamless! What are you talking about? I'm gonna put it on in the background. That is TOS. That is very TOS. Oops. Ignore everything, okay? Ignore everything. Nothing happened. Hey, this is going well. Let's go. This is fucking stupid. I hate this. I actually hate this. Are you fucking joking with me? Shit I've ever done. Between all the extreme demons, however, I would continue on posting other types of content such as discussion videos, easier demons, random highlights from my streams, and jumping on the Extreme Demon Roulette bandwagon when Nepesta introduced the idea in August of 2020. And on August 10th, 2020, I hit the incredible milestone of 42,069 subscribers, or better known as 42069, obviously marking the peak of my career. Let's be real. 2 days later, on August 12th, I uploaded a video of me beating the Extreme Demon Dupe, another level which I ended up getting extremely unlucky on, as at the end of my streams, I was passing into the 70s every couple attempts, and I died past the last ball around 30 times, marking what is, in my personal opinion, the start of the AeonAir luck meme, which would later get referenced a lot, especially with my Titan Complex and Rust luck especially. On the 28th of August 2021, after 1 week break, I completed shock therapy in a classic AeonAir fashion, as previously mentioned. I died past 70% 43 times. Even though I died a lot to the end, I still really enjoyed the level, and I recommend it to anyone, really. It's a very good level. And on August 31st, 2020, I uploaded a video where I beat 5 insane demons in one stream. A very impressive achievement, I'm not gonna lie, and it was an overall good showcase of my ability. This would go on to be a recurring series on my channel,
where I would continuously beat multiple extreme demons and insane demons in videos.
However, that's for a later time. As August ended, September started, and on the 6th of September 2021, I participated in a demon race against Riot, as this was around the time when Riot started to come back a little bit into the Jump to Dash community on Vibrant's Twitch channel. The last time we raced was in 2014 when we started racing Deadly Clubstep, which he technically won, either though it was like a 6-month-long race. Anyway, it was a fun stream, and I was victorious, winning 4-2 against Riot, which, all things considered, honestly, really impressive on his end, showing how skilled he really was, considering he had not really played actively since 2016. That's 4 full years. On September 14th, I would ask Cool Dash for the worst insane demons in the game, where I uploaded a video that would garner a very good chunk of views, and was the beginning of my nickname as the Bad Levels Guy. A staple to my branding nowadays is my liking for bad insane demons, especially beating them on a regular basis, which would also transfer over to extreme demons. As you all know, I like Base Cave. And the next day, on the 15th of September, I beat Bausha Vortex, which was an incredibly huge level on me, as I had always been bad at Wave, previously stating that Wave was the primary reason
why I initially left Jump to Dash in 1.9 due to
just simply not being able to adapt to the game mode. I struggled to improve at it overall, but my celebration was cut really short because at the same day, I was playing Among Us, don't laugh, with Jacob Nugget, Juniper, and a couple others, and I got an email from someone named Elizabeth. Hi Elizabeth, if you're watching this, nice to see you again, how are you doing? Who asked me if I could promote a cool little Steam game, which was being released in March of 2021. I thought the game looked really cool. I really genuinely liked it, so I asked what you wanted me to do. I was so enthralled by the look of the game and the amazing opportunity that was presented in front of me that I completely forgot to check if it was a proper business inquiry. This was a massive mistake. We kept on emailing back and forth about the details about the game and stuff like the promotion, and she wanted to move on to talk to WhatsApp because it's a lot easier to talk through WhatsApp than emails. That's completely fair. She then sent me a link to the demo of the game, which was going to release in March of 2021, which meant that it was not yet downloadable on Steam. I downloaded it, and my virus protection went haywire, warned me, telling me it's not safe, and even though my firewall said this is a bad idea, my humongous brain thought it was a great idea to run this program as administrator on my computer. When I woke up the next day, I got a notification on my phone saying that I was logged out of my YouTube account. And as I saw the notification, I suddenly realized how much I had royally messed up. I frantically tried to log into my account and I tweeted about it. However, luckily I managed to get YouTube's attention within just 24 hours, and by the end of September 17th, the very same day, I had given YouTube enough information that this is my YouTube account. They deactivated it before the hackers could post any videos on the compromised account because they were a crypto scam. After that, I was paired up with the Google hijacking and hacking security team. They asked me a bunch of questions regarding my account, such as, where were you when you made the account? What's the backup account? What's your mother's name? Stuff like that. Very basic stuff that just proved the legitimacy of the claim that it was, in fact, my account. And they confirmed that it was my account, thankfully. And the recovery of my account started. It took less than 36 hours from me getting hacked to me getting my account back, which was incredibly efficient effort by YouTube support, I have to admit. And I managed to get everything up and running shortly again after I got my account back, and I went on to just regularly upload again. That's it. Most stressful 36 hours of my life, though. On the 24th of September, I got a Discord partner. Really cool. Just wanted to flex that real fast. After fostering what I believe is a really good community, now sitting at around 6,500 members over on Discord. Link to that is in the description, by the way. I've naturally continued to work on my Discord server, hosting themes in the server, and I have plans to host events and contests throughout the server in 2022, just like a heads up if you're still watching this video. And on the 11th of October 2020, my channel was terminated! Woo! Yes! Entirely deleted from YouTube as a whole. Gotta love it, right? And you're probably wondering why it got terminated, and I didn't really know why it happened. We still don't have any information as to why my channel was terminated. I had no strikes, I had no warnings, I was completely scot-free from the YouTube guidelines. And it was a complete surprise to me and my whole fanbase as to why my channel just suddenly, snap, gone, Thanos out of existence. I managed to get YouTube's attention rather quickly, yet again on Twitter, because Twitter is my savior. There's a reason why I can't quit Twitter. Very addicted to it, I owe them my life. However, I digress. It turned out my channel was incorrectly terminated, and while the reason of the termination is still really not known, I'm pretty sure it's pretty safe to assume that it had to do with my account being compromised by the hackers the month prior. They probably filed something, got it terminated, that's pretty much it. I don't know. It might have been flagged as like scamming or something while the hackers had it, so it was terminated on those legislations because it wasn't the same teams that were working on it. Doesn't really matter. It happened. It hasn't happened since. The channel was up and running again, only 24 hours after I tweeted about the initial termination. After getting my channel back, I posted my Black Blizzard video, and the level took me about 11 days to complete. I wanted to beat the level for a really long time since I saw Trusta beat it in 2017. I found the level pretty fun. I found Trusta's completion even more fun. His dad walking in and watching him as he gets to like 95, absolutely hilarious.
Fuck!
Where did you die?
Förlåt. Ja.
Where did you die, Trusta?
Hej!
Anyway, it was my 4th hardest completion at the time, and given the speed of which I completed it, I stated there was much more to come. I said this isn't nearly going to be my peak as a player. On the 29th of October 2020, I hit 50,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, a very huge accomplishment, which marked the halfway point to the big 100,000, which is where we're sitting at today, a little over a year later. This was an extra revealing feeling for me, because I was hacked and terminated within the past month and a half, so it felt great to finally hit the 50,000 milestone. It was an incredible feeling, and I was ever thankful for it. Probably the most emotional milestone that I've ever hit for personal reasons. The next day, on the 30th of October, I posted a video trying to beat an extreme demon in a singular day, which the level I had chosen was Thanatophobia. Is it extreme? I don't know. Depends on the person, I suppose. I beat it in about 3 hours, 50 minutes, or 2,000 attempts on the dot. While not the hardest extreme I'd beaten, in fact, I think Thanatophobia is probably the easiest extreme, I still beat it in a day. Much less than a day, actually. I beat it in like 4 hours. That was pretty cool. On the 6th of November, I announced that I would be going for the extreme demon named Carcano as my final extreme of 2020. I decided to go for it because I wanted to end 2020 with 200 points on the demons list, and it would be my 10th list demon. And 2 days later, I beat Carcano. I beat it incredibly fast. That is so funny. That is so funny! That is fucking hilarious, dog! That is so funny! Oh my god, that's the best attempt I could have beaten it on. That is the absolute best attempt I could have beaten it on. That was pretty funny. You guys cannot deny it. That was funny as hell. I said that I wouldn't be playing any more extremes for the remainder of 2020, given the fact that it was only November 13th, however. Nobody really questioned anything back then, but I feel like in hindsight, it was pretty safe to assume that I had something up my sleeve. I don't recall seeing any comments about like, oh, I was probably working on something in the background. Anyway, throughout November and into December, I would occasionally post videos doing anything from playing the ever-popular Among Us to just random Jump Dash videos. Nothing truly spectacular, and November ended up being my worst performing month ever since my return. However, like I said, I had something brewing in the background. No surprise there. On the 14th of December, I posted a video of my full stream VOD where I did one attempt on every single rated level I had ever beaten. That's right, one attempt on 1,786 rated levels I had ever beaten, and it took me just under 12 hours to do in one stream. 6 days later, on the 20th, I posted my reaction to the 2020 awards nominees, which is now just a yearly thing that I do. After all of my hard work and, in my opinion, pretty entertaining content over the past year, I was nominated for the Best Streamer Award, which was really, really cool. I didn't end up winning, but I got nominated. That was pretty sick. Let's go!
Ask me if I am a helicopter.
Woo! Are you a helicopter?
No.
Oh. Let's fucking go! I'm just so happy, dude. Oh, that's so cool. No way that just happened, bro. On Christmas Day, on the 25th of December, 2020, I published my Yatagarasu completion video. It was a massive shock to everyone because I said I would release something special on that day. However, I never really said what I was going to be posting, and I wanted to surprise the community by completing my new hardest demon. Entirely in secret, by the way, releasing it without anyone knowing about it. And it was a massive level for me, because ever since I saw my close friend Trusta verify it back in 2017, I had always wanted to beat the level. And the level was my whole initial motivation for coming back to Jump Dash in 2017. This was, as previously mentioned, my new hardest demon, as it was number 34 on the list at the time of my completion, 20 spots above Stalemate Redux, which was a pretty good jump, I won't lie, and it was an incredible end to my year being back to Jump Dash and content creation, cementing myself as a true contender in the Jump Dash YouTube and Twitch scene, in my personal opinion, of course. I did it! I fucked it! Oh my god! That is the most stressful fucking thing I've ever done. I beat it! I fucking beat it.
You beat it?
I fucking beat it.
No way.
I fluked it! I fluked it so hard! Oh my god! In January of 2021, a few days into the new year with my new upload schedule, which was far more frequent than my 2020 schedule, I uploaded a video where I got to play the pre-release copy of the level Rust by Nageview, an upcoming top 20 extreme demon focused on gimmicky gameplay and heavily inspired by the likes of Sunset Sandstorm and Black Blizzard. Unbeknownst to me, Rust would eventually become a huge part of me and my channel, and at the time of the pre-release copy, I already fell in love with Rust as a level and concept. On the 11th of January 2021, I posted a video where I did a practice run of Firework when it was first being verified by Kurumi. It has over 104,000 views, and it would be the second video of many where I would be given a copy of an unreleased level, or a recently released level, and I would go through it in practice and give people insight and perspective from a decently good player trying the level for the first time. The first video being Rust. At the time, being around top 250 on the pointercrate stat sphere, I had a pretty good repertoire of completions to validate my opinion, and it gave onlookers a good idea of how hard these levels truly were, as it isn't always that easy to tell how hard a level is just by looking at it. 2 days later, on the 13th of January, I already dethroned Yatagarasu as my hardest demon I completed, literally less than a month after I beat it. The very recent Cybernetic Crescent by Viprin, the third and last level in the popular technology trilogy, which consists of Artificial Ascent, Digital Descent, and Cybernetic Crescent, and I managed to fluke it from 73%, and I was also the 13th victor of the level, 13 being my lucky number, by the way, so that's pretty cool. Beating it before the level got rated in-game. It took me about 16,508 attempts, and I posted my completion video the very next day, because at this point, I was known for making videos very, very quickly. Let's fucking go! Holy fuck, yes! Let's go! On the 14th of January, something funny happened. One of my TikToks hit 1 million views. I don't really upload a TikTok, but I uploaded for a little bit, and my clip from Artificial Ascent of the infamous helicopter clip, I posted it on TikTok. It got 1 million views. That's pretty cool. Very unexpected, but it did, so that's pretty cool. And 5 days after that, I completed Ditto Descent, finishing off the tech trilogy, and this was also my 30th Extreme Demon and 15th List Demon. The 15th List Demons is quite a lot. Pretty impressive, I would say. I am under the impression, personally, that Ditto Descent is the easiest of the three. I think it is slightly easier than Artificial Ascent. It took me about 6,995 attempts, which is very little. I still think Ditto Descent is one of the most overrated levels, but that is a different discussion for a different day. We're not here to talk about difficulty of levels. That's just my stance on it. On the 22nd of January 2021, I would beat the Insane Demon Sword Dance, which is commonly known as the worst Insane Demon, and was popularized by my trying the worst Insane Demons video, which made people anticipate me to complete the level in the future. Why do I do this stuff to myself? For me, this level was a massive patient test, as I died to the 74 click nearly 40 times from 0, which is the very infamous click that is used to be frame perfect at least. And I died past the click 6 times, and unsurprisingly, it wasn't that pleasant of an experience for me. But I still think the level is cool to have completed. It has a lot of charm to it. It's one of the levels that has charm, right? Yes. Oh, I did it. I fucking did it. I actually did it. Yes! That is the single worst Insane Demon I've ever played in my entire life. If not the single worst level I've played ever. That is the single biggest test of patience I think I've ever played. This tested me to a whole different level. And moving on to my 21st birthday on January 31st, 2021, I verified my long-lost solo Extreme Demon to the Stars 2, which was thought to be deleted and lost back in 2015. I also beat Red World Rebirth that day, which would be the first time I ever completed 2 Extreme Demons in a day. WeoWeoTio found a copy of To the Stars 2 after remembering that I initially gave him the level back in 2015 to verify, as I couldn't re-verify it, because back then, I had verified the level. I accidentally updated it to give him a copy so he could verify the unnerfed version, but instead I updated the level, and this was before hacks were a thing, so I couldn't just hack verify it. So I deleted the level, and To the Stars 2 just gone. I touched up To the Stars 2 a little bit after Weo gave it back to me, and it took me about 2,400 attempts to verify it. Even though the level was made in 1.9, this level still got star rated, making it my only rated Extreme Demons on my account, and my most recent rated levels pushing me to 40 creator points after sitting at 39 ever since 2015. However, I do want to add something, by the way. I asked Viper specifically to tell RobTop not to rate my level, and this bitch still rated it. Not happy. Anyway, one of my goals for 2021 was to have at least 1 month above 1 million views on my YouTube channel. I actually completed the goal in January. I just got 1 million views. Don't know how that happened. Was a great start to the year, and on February 3rd, 2021, 2 days after fleeking from 45% to 95%, I completed Killbot, one of my all-time favorite Extreme Demons to date, and at the time I beat it, was my favorite Extreme Demon. It took me just under 20,000 attempts, and because of my love for the level, shortly after posting my completion video, I also posted a how to beat Killbot tutorial video. I made the video to encourage more people to attempt beating the very intimidating Extreme Demon. And shortly after this video, and Doggy's video on the very same topic, more people started completing Killbot, quickly turning it to a fan favorite within the community after being one of the least popular levels on the list in general because people thought it was horrible. Very proud to say I ended up changing general perception of Killbot. Good level. Just 12 days later, I completed Erebus after 20,452 attempts, and when I beat it, it was placed at 45 on the Demons list, making it my 3rd hardest. As usual, I got unlucky with the level. I died 28 times past 76, as well as a death on the last jump, which, fun fact, was the first time I ever died at 98% on an Extreme Demon, despite having over 30 Extreme Demons beaten at that point. Come on, don't die. I died. Oh well. I said I was gonna die to 98. That is probably one of the funniest 98 deaths I think I've ever done. Anyway, even though I was getting unlucky, I still thought it was a very fun extreme. and it marked my second completion of the RGB, which I still haven't beaten, by the way. I'm not beating Sonic Wave, sorry. On the 18th of February 2021, I posted a video where I beat a demon of each difficulty. A pretty cool and unique challenge, I would say. I managed to complete the easy to insane demons in one day, and after a couple more days, I beat Misty Mountains, the extreme demon, which I selected to beat for the challenge. 4 days later, I posted a video called So I Hosted a Geometry Dash Esports Tournament, which I was a host and commentator for the Australia-UK show match in the Geometry Dash World Tournament, hosted by Rico LP. Something that I low-key want to do again. The 3 Australian players of Mini Shui, Varium, and Wolfie all won their match against Harry S. Ultrabock and Swyborg from the UK, making Australia the winning team. On March 1st, I announced that Sunset Sandstorm would be my next extreme demon. Just 2 days later, I did 16 to 100, and on the 4th of March, just 3 days after announcing the level, I completed Sunset Sandstorm. The fact that I beat the level so fast was insanely surprising, because at the time of my completion, the level was number 50 on the demons list, making it one of my hardest completions. And this further proved that I was incredibly talented as a player, that I could beat top 50s in under a week. 9 days later, I did a practice run of Sonic Wave Infinity, which was then being verified by Zanny. Just like the video I did on Firework, I was given a copy and went through it in practice mode, giving people insight into how the gameplay was and an idea of how hard the level truly was. I thought the version I played was a little bit easier than the version of Firework I played a month earlier. Kind of inaccurate. That's just my lack of wave skill, let's be real. However, in a slight private controversy, Simnior, the owner of AP Team, reached out to me about it, as Sanny had given me the copy of Sonic Wave Infinity without approval from the team, so I was technically not allowed to do it, but Simnior said it was fine, because if I deleted the video, there would be more of a ruckus around it. Anyway. On the 21st of March 2021, I verified the update to Occult Outcry, which was my first ever Extreme Demon verification that was not my own level. Took me about 8,300 attempts to beat, and I enjoyed verifying the level quite a lot actually, despite the level not being the most popular. Since the level had seen some newfound popularity, here's a quick little fun fact about the level. On the day I released Occult Outcry's verification video, the level was the second most popular page on all of pointercrate, right below Tartarus. It was also later that day revealed that the reason for the rebalancing of the level primarily came because the previous verifier Trix33 had hack verified the level, and Havoc, the host of Occult Outcry, didn't feel comfortable having a hacked level on his account. Already planning to beat the level, I took on the verification and legitimately verified the Extreme Demon, and funnily enough, the level never moved down on the demons list despite being objectively nerfed, simply due to the fact that the level was so painfully underrated previously. On the 5th of April, I completed Deception Dive. I got 94% on the level in 2017, and it took me like 44 minutes to beat it when I came back to it. 3 days later, I beat Step to Hell, adding another main list to my collection. It took me about 9.3k attempts, and I gave it a really low enjoyment rating. I like it a lot more now, but at the time I didn't like it at all because it has a lot of random choke points. And moving into May of 2021, on the 7th, I completed Titan Complex, a level I had incredibly mixed opinions about. I love the level, I really, really do, but I also got some of the worst luck I'd ever gotten on any Geometry Dash level ever, dying past 80% 30 times total, including 2 deaths at 96 and 10 deaths at 90%. Not 10 deaths over 90%, 10 deaths at 90%. And even though I had terrible luck, I still gave the level a fairly high 70 out of 100 enjoyment rating. In my community, since it has become a meme to say don't pull another Titan Complex in reference to my abhorrent luck on the level, so do with that information what you will. And on May 19th, I uploaded a compilation where I grinded 14 demons in about 2 hours. Very big improvement of my 28 in 12 hours that I did the year prior, moving me closer to the 1,000 demon goal. Beating the 14 demons put me up to 950 demons completed, and 3 days later, on the 22nd of May, I announced my next hardest demon. Bloodlust by Noble Boy. A monumental level in my playing career, and it was also one of my ultimate goals for the game. I have previously stated that I talked to my IRL friend who also plays Geometry Dash, Thinky, about how I wanted to someday beat Bloodlust, well over a year prior to the announcement. And on May 27th, 2021, it marked 1 full year since I got Twitch partner. Over the course of that year, I had also been actively streaming almost every day on my Twitch channel. And on the 31st of May, I uploaded a video where I gave tips and tricks on how to beat Artificial Ascent for EVW. On the 3rd of June, I posted a video where I beat the Extreme Demon Forbidden Isle by Silo, a level that I wanted to beat for a while. At the time, Dark Odyssey was demoted to Insane Demon, so I was back down to 48 when Dark Odyssey was demoted, and then I beat Forbidden Isle, which put me back up to 49 Extreme Demons, but then Dark Odyssey was re-promoted again, so I was at 50, so Bloodlust technically wasn't my 50th Extreme, but I counted as my 50th Extreme. Yeah. It's a whole mess. Anyway, the level took me about 597 attempts and 30 minutes to complete, a very short amount of time for an Extreme Demon, which to this day remains the shortest amount of time I've spent on any Extreme Demon ever. And on the 8th of June, 2021, only 17 days after announcing I would be going for it, I completed Bloodlust by Nalba Boy, my new hardest demon. I always wanted to beat the level since it got released back in 2018 alongside 1000 Demons. It was my ultimate goal for the game, to complete it, duh. I beat it when it was placed number 17 on the Demons list, and it took me about 27,295 attempts. Though around 7,000 of them were from 2018, so it was more like 21,000.
Oh my god! There's no fucking way I just did that!
3 days after beating Bloodlust, I completed 10th Circle, which was my 1000th demon, because I couldn't align Bloodlust with 1000. Yeah, different story. A fantastic achievement which shows how much time and dedication I had for the game, and on the 19th of June 2021, I completed the Extreme Demon Rash by Loltad with an insane fluke from 18%. One of the biggest flukes on an Extreme Demon ever, and at the point of completing the level, it was the absolute biggest fluke on any current list demon by percentage, beating out Liqualizer's 21% fluke on Kadrika City. On the 23rd of June 2021, I uploaded a video where I taught the YouTuber Easy Specy how to speedrun Geometry Dash. He's a YouTuber with like 2 million subscribers. That's a pretty sick thing to do. Still very happy with that video. I think it's good. Go check it out. GD Moderator and I, Embed, came up with a 20 achievement speedrun, in which it showcases a lot of the game's different gameplay elements, and it's doable in about 10 to 15 minutes, so it was a really good time. I had a very fun time with it. EasySBC made his own video about the speedrun a few months later, and the video now sits at like 1.3 million views, which is very, very impressive. And the next day, I beat 3 Extreme Demons in one stream. Ever since my 5 Insane Demons in one stream video, I had been continuously getting asked to do the same thing with Extreme Demons instead of Insane Demons. So I thought, why not? The 3 Extreme Demons that I beat in the stream were Broken Signal by Grax, Penome by Sephirox, and Precipitance by Extravagan. And it only took me 6 hours to beat the 3 Extremes, which is really insane now that I think about it. On the 26th of June, I did an IRL cooking stream with my grandma, where we cooked lasagna together. Aw, that's so adorable. I really enjoyed that stream in hindsight. It's incredibly different to what I normally would upload, and it was an incredibly fun stream. And it remains a fan favorite to very many people, including myself. I think it's easily one of my best videos on the channel. On the 1st of July, I beat my 60th Extreme Demon, Niflheim. The level took me around 3,200 attempts, and I said it was a wonderful level. Pretty much all I have to say about it. You know? I just think it's a good level. 4 days later, I announced that I would be beating the hardest memory demon in the game. Nelv by Sergiaster. I don't think it's a memory demon, by the way. Just wanted to get that out of the way. Anyway. On the 14th of July 2021, I would hit 80,000 subscribers. 80% of the ultimate goal of 100k. And 2 days later, 11 days after announcing I would beat it, I completed Nelv, my second hardest demon. I call it a masterpiece because of its stellar visuals and fantastic gameplay and effects, and my highest death was 92%. I gave it a 100 out of 100 enjoyment rating, which may seem ludicrous to a lot of people, however, it's quite literally my favorite level in the game. It's literally my favorite level in the game. It was placed at 36 on pointercrate Demons list at the time, although I personally think it should have been placed at like 20. Or just like swapped around with Bloodlust. I think it's harder than Bloodlust. There's nothing else for me to say. But funnily enough, that made a very swift end to my ultimate goal as my number 1 hardest completion. All Bloodlust was, in my opinion, my number 2 hardest completion. Though, technically it was still my hardest, right? On the 27th of July, I played the final finished version of Rust by Nagefew after playing the final copy, and I still found it really fun and challenging. I said I really wanted to beat it someday, but I also claimed it was too hard for me to currently beat. On the 2nd of August, I beat Distraught by Alkali. This level is pretty infamous within my community. As I said, this was the worst experience I ever had with the game, which would very quickly be beaten by another certain level that I'm going to mention a little bit later. And I said the level made me want to quit Jump Dash more than any other level, which still stands true, by the way. I really genuinely did want to quit after playing Distraught. It made me literally distraught, right? And in the description of my Distraught video, for some reason, I announced that I was going to go for Rust by Nagefew as my new hardest demon. Very anticlimactic announcement, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why I announced it in a video description of all things, but whatever. On the 10th of August, I got 52% on Rust, which was my first real good progress on the top 20 demon. 9 days later, I got some more progress on Rust with 69%, haha, where I exclaimed, no, I have to sit on 69% for a month now, with a lot of passion. I also got a 17% to 97% run, which could have been my best run ever. Very stupid death, but, you know, it's whatever. I even said that run was debatably harder than Bloodlust. That's very much up for discussion, though. The next day, I got 74% on Rust, and 69% again, so that made a very quick end to my funny haha percent progress, but that's beside the point. I thought that was fine. The level was giving me some trouble, but I kept grinding it with the hope that I would just build up consistency and get closer to beating it. The day after I got 74%, I stepped closer to beating it with an 82% fail, and on the 22nd of August, I got even closer with a 90% death. I kept on grinding it daily, and after 5 days, after my first 90% death, I died at 90% again. That was fun. So far, I had gotten past 43% 124 times, and 61 times to list percent, which was at 51%, and the Rust grind didn't stop me from uploading videos, because somehow, I managed to keep uploading videos while grinding this level relentlessly for like 6 hours a day. I did a main level spicy noodle challenge in typical old school EVW style, and I kept posting videos every 1 or 2 days. And on the last day of August, I did my 18 to 100% run on Rust. My best run to 100. Very, very happy about it. However, I still couldn't beat the level that day, and instead I died 4 times to the last cube. Very fun. Moving into September of 2021, on the 2nd, I said I was getting tired of Rust, as I had gotten 90% over 25,000 attempts ago. I'd already spent more attempts playing Rust from zero than it took me to learn and beat my previous hardest level, Bloodlust. I did get a new best on Rust on September 8th, getting 96%, only a few frames early on the jump, ever closer to completing the level. And on the 9th of September, I died 14 times to the last cube of Rust, which showed how hard the last part was and how incredibly unlucky my experience was. 3 days later, however, on the 14th of September, 2021, after a staggering 68,318 attempts, I could finally say I completed Rust. My new hardest demon. It was the most brutal experience I'd ever had in this game. 201 times past list percent at 52% and onward, and I had 52 deaths to the last cube. Even though I died to the last cube that many times, I still thought Rust, and still think Rust, is an absolutely amazing level, and I gave it a 98 out of 100 enjoyment rating, making it one of the most enjoyable levels I've ever played. I also stated that I was fully satisfied for a while, and that I won't be going for a new hardest anytime soon, and I still stand by that. I don't see any reason to dethrone Rust anytime soon. I'm very proud of my accomplishment, and I wanted to maintain and remain my hardest demon for quite a while longer. It was an incredibly intense journey, but I pulled through, and with that beat a top 20 extreme demon. Yeah! Oh my fucking god, dude. I'm so fucking happy, dude. I'm so fucking happy. This has cost me so much stress. Over a month and a half. I started this literally like August 1st. I can't believe it. I actually can't believe it. And on the 24th of September, I beat Base Cave, widely considered one of, if not the absolute worst extreme demon in Geometry Dash. but to literally nobody's surprise, I found the level quite enjoyable. It only took me a couple of days to complete the level with approximately 8,000 attempts, and on the 27th of September in 2021, I hit 90,000 subscribers. Very close to the monumental 100k. On the 30th of September, I beat Low Death by Karma L, a level that I tried to beat initially in 2020, as you can see in the background footage of the GD Twitch Experience video, where I never ended up beating the level because it was incredibly hard. I severely underestimated the difficulty of the level when I tried to beat it in 2020, so I left it so I could come back and beat it when I was better at the game. It literally didn't take me long at all. I got back to it, I beat it in 3,000 attempts in about 2.5 days, and that pretty much just proved to me I've gotten way better at this game. Not gonna lie. Even though it was only like a year. I started October off by beating Sakubin Hell by Trusta on the 7th. Ended up being my worst experience in the game to date, even more so than Distraught and Rust, dying to the last wave a massive 36 times. It took me 14,000 attempts in total, and I said that the Legacy Demon should be around Bowser Vortex difficulty on the Demons list. Although, arguably, that is very much just an experience-related opinion. I won't lie. I recognize the fact that it's probably not that hard. I just had a shit experience with it, therefore I think it's much harder than it really is. On the 13th of October 2021, I reacted to Katani's video of all the Extreme Demons ranked, top 50 to worst and top 50 best, where it took 11 people's average score of the decoration of Extreme Demons. My level was placed 5th on the worst Extreme Demons by decoration with an average score of 1.4. I thought that was funny. As previously mentioned, I asked Viper specifically to tell Robtom not to rate it, but he rated it anyway. Not surprised in the slightest. And that was like the first time I ever did like proper reaction content, which since has become like a staple in my channel, which I do every now and then. Not too often, every now and then. On the 19th of October, I beat Castling by Meru, which was commonly referred to as one of the worst, if not the worst level of all time in Geometry Dash, after popular demand for me to try it. After beating it in approximately 1,600 attempts, I said, it's just a mediocre level. It's really not that bad. It's not good. Not bad. I gave it a 55 out of 100 enjoyment rating. Very average. I think it's overhated. Anyway, I beat my 4th hardest Extreme Demon soon after beating Necromancer. Necromancer is a hated Extreme Demon by the majority of the community because of its inconsistent gameplay and really brutal ending. Very similarly to Necropolis, which is the level it's based off, and I got fairly unlucky with the level. I died past 72% 27 times, and I died to 98, but even though I got unlucky with it, I still thought the level wasn't that bad, in quotation mark. Typical AeonAir fashion, I won't lie. I don't blame you for thinking that I have shit opinions now that I look back at it. It took me about 15,500 attempts. Not too bad for a level in the top 50, and on the 24th of October, I posted my 420th video on my channel, which was me reacting to AeonAir memes created by the community after my Requiem announcement thumbnail had gone viral within the community, sparking tons of memes surrounding my thumbnail. Because apparently I'm not scary in the slightest whenever I try to make edgy thumbnails. Requiem ended up becoming my 5th top 50 Extreme Demon, and it only took me about 12,000 attempts, which, to be fair, is very little. 10,000 of those were learning and getting consistent with the level, and the latter 2,278 attempts was just me trying to beat it. I really, really like it. I said, and still say it's a fantastic level. I give it an incredible 96 out of 100 enjoyment rating. It has a couple choke points, but that's about it. The level is absolutely phenomenal otherwise. And on the last day of October, I hit 95,000 subscribers on YouTube. My first video of November was reacting to the Geometry Dash Goat Pyramid made by Ladion, a video discussing the greatest players to ever have played the Geometry Dash game. Why did I say it like that? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Related to their time of activity, naturally, and when they peaked as players. Basically talking about the all-time greatest players relative to their time frame of activity. Should I have been on there? If Lation played in 1.6, maybe. On the 18th of November, after having it uncompleted for 5 years, I finished the last Steam achievement in the game, which was rating 1,000 user-created levels. This meant I technically completed Geometry Dash. Pretty cool. And the next day, I uploaded the video where I rated icon sets for people who replied to my tweet, continuing to upload non-gameplay videos, proving that Geometry Dash is way more than just a game where you play it. There's a whole community surrounding it, and there's so much more that you can do than just completing levels. The tweet got a massive 1,400 replies, so I obviously couldn't rate everyone's icons, but it showed how big my community was. That was pretty cool. On the 22nd of November 2021, 18 months after going full-time and 7 years after making my channel, I hit 100,000 subscribers. It's happening, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, Are we just gonna stop? Is my peak 99,998? Is this where my career ends? That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Wow. Let's post it on Twitter. That is like my first initial reaction. Let's post it on Twitter. Thank you, everyone. It truly means a lot. It's actually crazy. This means the world to me. I don't know if you guys realize how much this like means to me as a person, but I've worked so hard for this. I've worked insane amounts of hours for this. And on the 25th of November, an hour after applying, I got verified on YouTube. And now I have a really cool checkmark next to my name. That's pretty sick. Ever since, I've just kept on uploading, beating more Extreme Demons, collaborating more with my friends like Eric and Trusta, even cooperating with EVW on his 12 Demons of Christmas series, making it 24 Demons of Christmas, where Eric and I would take turns uploading our videos every other day for the entirety of December. Throughout 2022, I plan to host bigger video ideas, make more content, and try my best to cement myself as a name in the GD community, not just as a player, but as a figure. And that is where my story ends for now. Almost 8 years of on and off activity. I have one of the most extensive stories this game has ever seen. And while most of it is forgotten by the general community, it's preserved here in this video for everyone to see. I like to think that I'm a man of passion for Jump to Dash and a never-ending hunger to continuously feed the community even more content. I really truly hope that I can continue to do this for many years to come, and I'm ever grateful for the opportunity that you guys have given. Thank you so much. I really hope that this video was more or less easily digestible. It took a very long time to make this video. Thank you so much to Makov for editing and helping with the script writing and doing a majority of the script writing. I truly appreciate it. Go check him out. Link to him is in the description. Anyway, thank you so much for 100,000 subscribers. It truly means the world to me. You guys are absolutely incredible. I don't know where I would be without you guys, truly. Thank you for making my year better. Thank you for making my life better. Hope I made yours a little bit better too. Eat your greens, stay healthy, stay hydrated, and Happy New Year's, everyone. I'll see you guys next year. Goodbye, everyone.